So thanks so much everyone for jumping on this Men of Arbonne call. We have got the absolute perfect time to do this right after we've been to our global training conference in Las Vegas. I'm really happy that we're continuing these calls and we continue to see so many of you supporting this amazing brand. I'm really, really proud of how we continue to do these calls, and we give regular guys out there in this business the opportunity to speak, as well as seeing some amazing guest speakers on this call. So first of all, Vegas, wow. Can I just ask everyone on this call, if you went to Vegas, please just raise your hand so I can see who went. Brilliant. Now, of those who have been to Vegas, just nod, really nod, like really, really energetically, if you thought Vegas was one of the best experiences of your life. Loving and nodding heads. Absolutely. Vegas was electric. It's my first Vegas, and for so many of you, I'm sure you'll agree, it's just something that you never, ever forget. And you see people go to Vegas and they say, you've got to go, you've got to be there to experience it. But it's so true. You absolutely have to be there to experience it. So everyone on the call who is a consultant, make a commitment right now to be booking your flights and your room for Vegas next year, because I'm telling you now, it's one of the greatest experiences you'll ever experience in your life. And I've come back absolutely raring to go. I've already got someone who wants to join the business. I messaged over 5 people this evening to set up one-to-ones. This amazing energy that you bring back makes you feel invincible. And when you feel invincible, nothing scares you. So wouldn't we all just love to feel invincible all the time, so that we're never scared to get out of our comfort zones and contact people and get them in front of us to hear this amazing opportunity? Now, a couple of exciting announcements to make for the Men of Arbonne call. So announcement number 1, I just want to say, for those of you on the call, have you ever had a conversation with a man over Facebook or over email, and you think, great, they want more information, and you think, I just want to send them a YouTube DA. But hang on a second, you reach for that DA and you realise there isn't any from men out there. Who would like it if we were able to start introducing a monthly call hosted by men, doing the DA, recorded, and have a library of different guys doing this DA so you can use them for your prospects? Is that a thumbs up? Great. So that's what we're going to start doing, guys. As of May, we're going to have an extra call of guys doing the DA, and they will be recorded, and there'll be a great playlist on YouTube for you to use and send out there to your male prospects. And I think that'll be really, really great for us. Number 2 is I want to keep these calls relevant, and I want to keep making sure we have amazing special guests like Martin, who is on the call this evening, and make sure going forward it's the people you want to see. So what I want to do is, we've got a chat box at the bottom of this screen. If you want to all just send a vote to me of a man you would love to see as a special guest on these future calls. You can just send it privately, and I'll try and tally up the votes, but people that you really think would be amazing as a special guest. Okay? And thirdly, I want to start giving other guys the opportunity to sit in the hosting chair like I am today. So since we started these calls a while back, I've been hosting them. I really want to give new and up-and-coming enthusiastic guys the chance to step out of their comfort zone, and I'll support them in creating their call, but they ultimately get to host and interview the special guest. So that'll be really, really exciting for lots of you guys on the call today. So our special guest tonight is Martin MacKenzie. He's a regional vice president, and I'm going to introduce you to him in a little while. But first, I want to just speak to 2 guys on this call, okay? So what's really important with these calls is that we allow people at any level to step out of their comfort zone and have a couple of minutes to tell their story or their experience. So we've got 2 guys tonight. First guy tonight is Simon Bridden, and our second guy is James Saxon. Both of these guys have watched their wives build an Arbonne business for I don't know how many years, but I'm sure they'll mention it, and never actually joined. And since coming to GTC Vegas, they have joined as consultants and are absolutely ready to take this business by storm. So massive clap for James and Simon. So first of all, have we got Simon on the call? We'll go to Simon first, and then we're going to go to James, and then we'll get on to our special guest, Martin MacKenzie. So Simon, take it away.
Right, cheers, Luke. How are you?
Music. I'm brilliant, thanks, mate. Really, really good.
Good. Right. Well, to start with, I've only been doing Arbonne literally a couple of weeks. I will apologise right now if it sounds like I'm reading from a book, but that's because I've had to write all this down. and you'll realise a little bit later on as to why. So, hold on, here we go. 1 second, guys, sorry. Right, to be honest, I really didn't want to go to Vegas or the GTC. And that was because, really, I had no idea what Arbonne was all about, what was involved, and I thought I'd be left out on my own. And I'd look out of place with my appearance, being a big guy and bald. But at the end, I still went just to support Crystal. Even on the morning of the launch, I had no interest of becoming a consultant, mainly because I'm very, very shy and really lack self-confidence. And the one thing we were taught was that you need to step out of your comfort zone. And believe me, right now, I'm really out of my comfort zone, just talking now on this screen. And if you ask Crystal, she's the wife, for those who's wondering who Crystal is, she's never heard me talk for so long in front of people. And she'll be wondering now what on earth is going on. So then I stepped into the arena, and for me personally, it was life-changing. It was the wow factor. I've never ever seen so many happy, positive people just loving life and bouncing off each other's energy. Then although I was standing there looking like a miserable git, inside I was screaming from the rooftop. It was absolutely fantastic. And it's really altered my perspective on life for the better. And now with belief, I've got a great vision for the future for myself and for my family. And I've set myself plenty of goals, which I know that I'm going to tick each one off as achieved. Going to the actual GTC, I've met great friends, and which you could probably call them as a family. And they all want to help each other out. And I'm so thankful that I went. It's been an absolute eye-opener for me. And like a few of us have been already said, if we could box this trip up and bring it back home, everyone said they would jump on board. I really cannot wait for next year's GTC, and I'm 100% going next year, and I am going to the white party. For the ones that haven't yet been, make it your priority to go next year. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. If you've already signed up in Arbonne but aren't working your business, then get your ass in gear, believe in yourself, don't take any knockbacks to heart, and achieve what's possible. Trust me, if I can say all this now, you really can make your business a success. If there's anyone on here only thinking about joining Arbonne, then do so. Take a leap of faith and experience what I have, what we all have. I promise you will not be disappointed. So thanks everyone, and I hope to see you all soon.
Well done, Simon. Honestly, that takes a lot of courage to do that, mate. And like you said, you went to that Vegas telling Crystal, do I have to go? Do I really have to go? And imagine if you didn't go. And honestly, mate, really proud of you for doing that. Because like you said, you're so up for getting out of your comfort zone. And I'm sure we're really excited to see where you go in this business. We're all rooting for you.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
You're so welcome. So thanks so much, Simon, again. And we're going to move on to Mr. James Saxton. Hello, Mr. James, and you're going to give everyone a few words from your way.
Hey, Luke. Hey, folks. And Simon, that was absolutely brilliant, mate. Yeah, top words. And really, look, I mean, Luke, you gave the intro. I suppose my kind of short story is, I suppose Arbonne's been in my family's life for nearly 4 years. My wife, Rebecca, joined the business. And I've seen firsthand over that time, and she's built her business up to the third level of management that, I've seen both the transformation in her and the transformation it's had for our family, as far as the freedom I get to enjoy more with my children. And that, that is the number one thing for us. And I suppose 4 years of watching it, I've always been a huge supporter and fan of Arbonne. But in the end, it became a no-brainer for me to make the decision to kind of get all in. So 7 weeks ago, I said yes to Rebecca to join a business. And I think, I'm going to give kind of my flavours from GTC, but the difference it has made to, you know, for 4 years I've watched someone get off the plane and look absolutely buzzing alongside the other 300 people on the plane who come off it. But now I absolutely get it. And I suppose the reasons why I get it are these. So for GTC, it was amazing. And I think the first bit for me was the investment that Arbonne make. And that was both investment in world-class speakers. So you've got some fantastic EMVPs, NVPs such as Carol and Chris. I see Chris on the line, you know, amazing training. But, you know, having been in a corporate career and seeing training, I've seen nothing like what I did last weekend. It was amazing. And also to see someone like Guy Kawasaki, who was the guest keynote speaker. And this is a guy who was the technical evangelist and guru to Steve Jobs, who's on the board of Wikipedia. You know, these are heavy hitters, and to see that level of investment from Arbonne for training was amazing. The second bit of investment was the products, and I'm sure you've all seen with the Arbonne Intelligence Genius Ultra being launched, the first device, which is amazing to see, into the device market. Alongside for the men, the RE9 has been updated, so goodbye eye wrinkles with the cream, some facial oil. You know, obviously new products being launched in the eye collection. Again, great investment. And also for new markets. So GTC really did focus on Taiwan for Q4. And again, you know, the products have been tailored. RE9 Advanced has been lightened for the Taiwanese complexion. There's a new range, RE9 Advanced Brightening, and even a nutrition. The tastes of chocolate and vanilla have been honed. So, you know, that's a huge investment in making sure that when product lands in a new country, it lands well. And lastly, of course, New Zealand is the main news of launching in June, and this roadshow set up for that. So the whole infrastructure and setups there, you know, really for us is an opportunity to go after, which is brilliant, and it gives you the confidence when leaving GTC that those markets are there for us as a global opportunity. And the last part is really the investment, and that's on the charity side. There was an amazing lady come and talk and give some insight into what the Arbonne Charitable Foundation does. And I think it was about $3.5 million was raised so far for the foundation, which is amazing. And it just really echoes the generosity and the giving that comes from the Arbonne consultants. So that was my bit about investment. The last part was just, I really want to touch on probably just some of the key messages and themes that came out from some of the speakers. Some I've heard probably through osmosis for 4 years, but now I actually probably get them. The first being, don't quit before payday. I heard it a number of times, but EMVP Linda Parker brought it home when she put up a picture of her, I think when maybe she had made region with her district managers alongside her in the photo. And she just highlighted, and not a single of those district managers was now with her. But as the arrow dropped on each district manager, she said, well, that person brought me NVP X, this person brought me NVP Y. 4 levels away in generation, that person brought me the superstar of Z. So it's a real message of just be consistent, never give up, and, you know, don't quit for payday. And her other point was, you know, have fun with the business. This is, you know, it's brilliant to see so many people, and, you know, Luke, you know, great inspiration that gets going. It is fun. You know, this is fantastic. So that was kind of Linda Parker's messages. There was some training from Carolina Bill McFarlane. A big message there was keep it simple. You know, he kind of summed up Arbonne in 10 words. I'm not going to try and emulate what he did on stage, but so don't overthink it, keep it simple. And then really Diana Heron, EMVP Diana Heron, talked about getting out of the comfort zone. You know, Simon just showed it. I think everyone has to do it in different ways. I've had to really try and do it, you know, to try and really ask people about business with the conviction and passion. But getting out of the comfort zone and really, you know, this is a numbers game. If you're doing your personal development and you're doing activity, this is really about numbers game, and sponsoring never stops no matter what level you're going through, with some messages. And lastly, a lady, EMVP Lisa Flores, talked about momentum. I think we've heard that. I hear it a lot, even the first 7 weeks of joining the business, about how you create momentum. And she really talked about vision, enthusiasm, and action to get out there and talk to people. So those were kind of the key themes I took away. I think the last one, someone summed up brilliantly. I think it was EMVP Valerie Gunter. all of us have a golden backpack on our back, and it's about the realisation that we've got it on our back and then we can offer it to others. So, yeah, I thought it was brilliant. Thanks, Luke, for the opportunity to talk. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, fantastic. Get April 20th in the diary for next year. I know I've already started booking the flights. It was brilliant.
Thanks so much, James. That was absolutely brilliant. And I just want to say it's amazing to see guys stepping up on these calls and we give them this opportunity. The mission of these calls has always been to give a face to more men in this business. And it's up to us to keep pushing forward and prove to men that this can be done by them too. And this just isn't a ladies' business. Whether you're gay, whether you're straight, you can do this business. So just remember that. So many husbands now joining this business to support their wives. It's incredible. Now, I'm so excited to move over to our special guest, Mr. Martin MacKenzie. So Martin MacKenzie is an independent consultant and regional vice president with Arbonne. Martin's career has included corporate and self-employment, but there's an interesting common theme throughout his entire life, which I'm sure he's going to cover in his story. Martin, for the last 10 years, has owned and run an award-winning cosmetic dermatology, weight loss and hair clinic with area manager Dr. Xavier Gudzaran, and that's all about facial lines, waistlines and hairlines. So Martin thinks the universe was trying to tell him that he was destined to join Arbonne, and with our uplines, downlines and sidelines. So Martin is going to give us his story and how he came to find Arbonne, and then we're going to have a little interview with Martin. So Martin, welcome.
Hi there, Luke. Thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me onto this amazing call. I just pay tribute to the two guys who were before me. Oh my God, what incredible training. Thank you. And everyone, I mean, literally, round of applause for you guys. Seriously, fantastic. Can everyone hear me okay? Am I coming through loud and clear? Thumbs up. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. So I'll just quickly give my story and then we'll get on to the questions. I'm just conscious you guys of time, etc. So, yep, hello everyone. My name is Martin MacKenzie, independent consultant and regional vice president. So my background is I come from Scotland in the far north. My nearest neighbour was the Loch Ness Monster and a flock of sheep. I kid you not. But I studied accountancy at University of Aberdeen back when I graduated in 1992. But to be honest, accountancy wasn't really my chosen path because growing up, I didn't really know what I wanted to be or do. And I followed my parents' advice, steered my parents to go to university and do accountancy. So I got my degree, but it wasn't really what I wanted to do. But instead, I graduated and went into corporate life, working for what was at the time the nationalised railway system, British Rail. I wanted to join their graduate training scheme, but that had just stopped literally a month before I graduated because of privatisation. So the split in the railways up in different companies. So any sort of central graduate training just stopped. So I took the unusual step of I graduated on the Friday, and on the following Tuesday, I started as a British Rail guard on the train, basically working for ScotRail, checking tickets and working the safety of the train from Aberdeen to Glasgow, Aberdeen to Edinburgh, and Aberdeen to Inverness. I did that for about 9 months, and I decided I was going to work my way up into management that way instead. So I got promoted, and I worked my way up, merrily up the corporate ladder, so to speak. And I was doing the corporate thing, working longer hours. I got to just below board level, eventually with one of the UK's largest train companies. And I did love the railway. I actually did, love what I was doing. And I got free first class travel around the UK and Europe. And with the cost of rail travel, that was a great perk to have, I can tell you, because I certainly begrudge paying it nowadays. But I thought all was dandy. I thought that was my career path the next 40 years in corporate, in the railways. And enjoying all the wonderful things that corporate life gives us, like attending board meetings, annual performance appraisals where you think you're worth that and they tell you you're worth diddly squat, so smaller, no pay rises, longer hours, office politics, and working with a lot of people that didn't really want to have in your life, but you kind of forced to see them, 37, 40, 60 hours a week. So I'm sure if anyone on the call works for a large company, that's perhaps resonating with you or, has in the past. So over time, in my sort of corporate career, I kind of wanted to have my own business, but didn't know what I wanted to have, what it could be. I wanted to be the one making decisions, having the creative input, because in my experience in the railways, it's always been done that way, governor. There's no room for flair and creativity. So it was kind of like, that's how it's always been. It has changed since with privatisation. So back in 2005, so 11 years ago, I took voluntary redundancy from my corporate career. My parents thought I was mad, but I did it anyway. And I moved from railway lines into facial lines when myself and best friend, who's now an area manager with Arbonne, is Dr. Xavier Godazian. So we set up a cosmetic dermatology, weight loss, hair restoration clinic in Southampton. And we do intravenous drips. It's all kind of top to toe health and wellness, inside, outside. And we can rebuild you type treatments. So, and over the last 10 years, we've grown each year, and we've been voted the best UK clinic three times in the UK. So, love what we do. But of course, being self-employed, we bought ourselves a job. So, we have another doctor and a nurse and therapist, but principally, when our doctor's in the clinic injecting people's faces, we earn money. When he's not in the clinic, the income goes down. So we can't take long holidays. What happens if you go sick? So like anyone who's self-employed that relies on their hands or their legs or physically being in there, you're not earning if you're not in work. So like a dancer relies on the legs to dance, a plumber relies on his hands to plumb. So in the same way, a doctor, dentist or nurse relies on their hand to inject and treat patients. If you're not in there, you don't earn. So again, there's a risk there. So I found myself loving what I was doing. At the age of 42, it was 4 years ago, been doing Arbonne 4 years now, didn't have a pension plan. So I'm 46 now, I didn't have a pension plan at all. And, my income was literally in somebody else's right hand. So Dr. Xavier's injecting hand. And there's only one person doing what I do in the clinic as well. So, I had kind of like a risk there, and I needed to have a plan B. And like everyone, we all need a plan B, but it's actually having a plan B in place before you need to call upon it. And when I heard about Arbonne for the first time, I absolutely recognised this was an opportunity for me. So I was introduced to Arbonne in April 2012, exactly. In fact, it's actually 4 years tomorrow that I joined Arbonne. That's a scary statistic. And I was kind of the ideal prospect. I jumped in literally straight away. My sponsor did the business presentation. I jumped in, Dr. Xavier jumped in. We didn't even try products because we just trusted the person that introduced us. Because we knew our friend, we trusted her. We believed if she said the products are good, then they're good. And we just signed up there and then. We already had an understanding of how network marketing works. We didn't have any hang-ups about the P word, etc. We absolutely there was an effort-based opportunity. We loved the conversation plan, loved the story of the products, Arbonne's story, the heritage. Everything was just tick, 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 tick. And of course, this is a relationship business, and people often connect with people in this business and join because of the person introduced them, and not always because of the products. Having said that, of course, we did do our research afterwards, and the products did tick all the boxes and continue to do so. But I had to say someone that we didn't know, try to prospect us. We wouldn't have given the time of day. And we get calls from drug reps, skincare reps, and other MLM company distributors all the time. But our reception staff are well trained to fend them off like a bad dose of the flu, because we get it every day. Literally every day, someone will call us saying we've got a new skincare range, opening in the UK, blah blah blah. They don't even get past reception. But because we knew our friend, we listened. But the ironic thing is, I think it was about in 2010, we actually got a curiosity pack through the post from one of our patients who we didn't really particularly like. And the curiosity pack went straight in the bin. And I'm ashamed to say I put an Arbonne curiosity pack in the bin, but I'd never heard of Arbonne before. She didn't call us to say it was coming. She didn't call us to say had it arrived. There was no follow-up, and the fortunes in the follow-up. So it went straight in the bin like so many other samples we get anyway. So the irony is, we heard of Arbonne before, we didn't get it at all. And that's kind of a lesson, I suppose. So the relationships we have with people are really important as you build them along the way. But as Luke said, I think I was destined to join Arbonne because from ledger lines and accountancy to railway lines to facial lines, waist lines, hair lines, we joined Arbonne for up lines, down lines, and side lines and cross lines. So the universe was definitely trying to tell us something. But this, on a serious note, the lesson from my story really is never prejudge anybody's situation when you're prospecting or putting people on your 100 names list. And just because a person in business, having their own business or perhaps in corporate, appears to be successful on the outside, it doesn't mean they're not going to be receptive to what we have to offer them, the business. Our role is just to share the opportunity of the business and the products, never prejudge. If you think that person will get it or not, need it or not, or want it or not. So, because in 2012, I needed Arbonne. Dr. Xavier Godazian needed Arbonne, but he didn't know it until the opportunity was presented to us. and it was from a friend, and we just got it and jumped in. So, some people will be like us and just jump in, and others will not. They'll need multiple exposures. I like Eric Worre explains in GoPro. So just persevere and keep following up, and that's kind of the moral of my story. So that's enough about me. So if you want to, ask the first question, I'm happy to go through them one by one.
Fab, thanks so much there, Martin. That's a great story to share with us all. So we are going to do the interview part of the call tonight. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and obviously look forward to your answer, and hopefully lots of people on the call get lots of useful information from you. So question number one, you've just been to Vegas. What was your highlight, Martin?
Can I say everything? Literally
Absolutely.
everything. I mean, it's just the whole spectacle of it, and the staging. It's just having 17,000 people in the arena, all with a common goal. It's just nothing beats it, and you just have to be there to understand it. You'd watching a video across a big pond, isn't it? It's just you just don't get it. And there's a great balance between product training, corporate announcements, obviously about New Zealand and Taiwan, so exciting. The new mobile app. I'm just really it's not a negative. It's a negative emotion to have. I'm jealous that Apple users got it before Android users. I've got to wait till June. my Office app. So some of my team who are Apple users were rubbing it under my nose, and I couldn't look at it. So, and also the training from field leaders, just inspirational training and inspirational stories too. And it's always a delicate balance to strike between field leader training, announcements, product knowledge. But I just think every year, and I've been to 4 GTCs now, Arbonne just gets it right every single time. There's a right balance. So you come away with your jars filled full of all the different types of training and information we need in this business. So I just think the highlight is just everything. It's just the spectacle of being there. And also, it is taking a team with you as well. It's just great. And every year the team gets bigger, you take more. And it's just, promising yourself, making sure to yourself that you're going to take more back next year. It's just a satisfying feeling. And just watching, you look down the row at your team and you see them having their light bulb moments and, coming away with it thinking, oh my God, this is incredible. It's just an amazing feeling. And you get that from ASC as well, absolutely. But of course, we don't have 17,000 people in the MGM Grand Arena at ASC. We will have, I'm sure, pack the O2 Arena out one year. But until then, we have GTC, and long may that continue.
Fantastic. So tell us, Martin, why you kind of explained it in your story, but you're a successful man. You were a successful man before Arbonne. What was the key thing that just made you go, yes, this is it, I'm doing this business?
Plan B. I think Plan B, definitely. Because for me, about a year and a half before I joined Arbonne, I lost a really dear friend to terminal cancer. She battled it for years. And it made me view my life in a very different way. And I kind of realized that I love my job in the clinic. It's more than full-time work. And we also have a medical training business. We train medics in Botox and fillers and peels and that type of thing. And I also have a small business where I help doctors set clinics up. So, it's kind of like my life was, and still is to a certain extent, like the Royal Variety Performance, where you got the guy with the poles and the plates and the poles spinning the plates. And he's trying to keep all the plates spinning and stop any one of them crashing down. And that was kind of like my life, definitely, before Arbonne, and still a little bit because I still work full-time in the clinic. But I realized if, I was busy, and my first hesitation was, I have no time. I have no time to my sponsor. I said about 10 times. And she kept coming back with the objection handling about, well, if you really see value in this and you need to want to make a change in your life, you've got to change something. So I accepted that by, putting aside a few hours a week, but consistently, that I could do this as well. And I recognized I was no different to other busy people who were doing Arbonne. So I kind of got over myself quite quickly. But realizing that, I need to make a change, because if I wasn't careful, 3, 4, 5, 10 years down the line, I'd still be working 6, 7 days a week, plate spinning, and still be in the same situation. I do have a comfortable lifestyle, don't get me wrong, but, what price can you put on time freedom? And that's priceless. And that's what I need, is be able to work less hours, but not having income nosedive. And I saw this as an opportunity for that, and also pension plan, really. So I think, the key thing is never judge someone's situation. You never know what's going on behind the closed doors, behind someone's successful persona or career or business. You never know what's going on behind the closed doors. Just present the opportunity. If they get it, great. If they don't, go back to them and follow up another time, because you just never know.
Amazing advice there, Martin. You're completely right. Never judge a book by its cover. So there'll be lots of people on here really excited to answer this next question, because you have a skincare clinic and we've just launched an amazing new device in Vegas, the Genius Ultra device. What's your take on it?
The home care device market is absolutely massive. I mean, it's huge. And to let us now have a product that we can, access that new market for us is incredible. We use ultrasound technology in the clinic for other treatments. So we use it for it's obviously medical grade ultrasound for breaking down fat and skin tightening around the body. And so, the technology of ultrasound is absolutely proven. Ultrasound works, and if anyone's had a baby, not that I have, and you go for an ultrasound scan, it works. You've seen the results. So ultrasound's a proven technology, and it's just exciting to have a home care device that uses that technology that enables this intensive renewal serum and eye cream to absorb that much better and more effectively into the skin. So I literally cannot wait to get my hands on it to get going with it. So hugely excited. We should all be excited about it as well. And it just is credit to Arbonne's ingenuity and creativeness that they give us. I mean, every year they have fantastic product launches, but this was like OMG. So yeah, very excited. And when it comes out, just make sure everyone gets it and get doing this on their face and circular motions.
I'm sure there'll be lots of selfies on Facebook as soon as everyone gets their device. So
I'm sure there will be.
Seeing everyone's selfie. We should have a selfie challenge actually when it comes out. That'd be quite cool. We start that. So again, just on the skincare thing, so let's try and tailor the questions to our special guest. And so give us your top tips, selling and offering and recommending our amazing new skincare range to guys. How do you sell skincare as a guy?
I mean, skincare is huge in guys as well as women. So the male grooming market has just mushroomed in the last 10 years. Even, we started the clinic in 2005. The men's market is, multiple times now what it was then. Even just number of clients, people have guys, interested in skincare, and you see it all the time. The number of TV adverts that are tailored towards guys, and the range in the shops too. So there's a huge market for it. We all know that. Most guys now not just shave, they moisturize too. So that's progress. So I think really it's about the words you use. I mean, guys will resonate more with words like grooming, looking fresh rather than say youthful glow and the dewy glow. It's the words you use. So, guys aren't going to respond to words like beauty. I think just watch your words, and even just watch adverts, how the mainstream advertising and press sell skincare to guys, and the words you can use exactly the same, because obviously we get, I found that people get better results with their products, but it's the word you use, the language you use that helps a guy kind of get it. So male grooming is the same as, skincare and beauty really, but it's just trying to, in a language that it will resonate with guys. So looking fresh, hydrated, youthful, that's kind of words that I think we use more for guys. So I think you watch your language is perhaps one tip for selling skincare to a guy as a guy. I think also sell the benefits. And this goes to men and women actually. Sell the benefits, less so the features. So what do I mean by that? Well, we get obviously meet the product sheets for all the products we have, and it's very easy just to, if you're not sure about recommending or selling something to somebody, whether you're a guy or a female, is you get sort of caught up in all the product features, like it's vegan, it's cruelty-free, it's got this ingredient, that ingredient, it's got a clinical trial, it's got all these facts and figures that ultimately will lose someone, because the person that you're trying to recommend to is actually only interested in what it's going to do for them, what's a benefit to them. So sell the benefits rather than the features. So the benefits will be, it will freshen your skin, hydrate your skin, make you feel better, look better, rather than the fact that it's got all these things. And the features are important, yes, but I think you want to lead with the benefits, but maybe drop a few relevant features in there. So the fact we've got, scientific advisory board and all those sort of facts and figures that support our brand, which give us the kudos and the heritage that we have, don't give too much of that. You want to really think what's in it for that person to use it, and speak from your experience. Oh, I use this, eye cream, and it's just fantastic. I've got no creepiness around my eyes, that type of thing. And I have to say, I used the new men's RE9 range for the first time as soon as I got my hands on it, and it is just incredible. So, use it yourself to then speak from experience, and your enthusiasm, your authenticity will just speak volumes as well as information you're conveying to them. But sell the feature, the benefits over the features. The features are important, but it's really what's in it for them is the most important thing. And I think the third tip is, know your facts. So know what the facts are, meet the product sheet, all the data, the fact you have a scientific advisory board, our ingredient policy, know all these, so you have them in reserve. Because that way you haven't got to be a product expert at all. And even if you don't know an answer to a question, you know where to find it on the source. So you don't have to know everything, just get recommended for place of authenticity, but know the facts as well. That would be my sort of 3 tips, I think, for a guy, recommending skincare to a guy as well.
That's fantastic, Martin. And I can see lots of people scribbling down notes because that's such practical advice. Things like mentioning the benefits and maybe not the features, and the words we use are not the same words we use for ladies. And to be fair, that never even crossed my mind. So you saying that, Martin, is an amazing tip, and I'm sure everyone will agree on that. So next question, your top 3 tips for getting people to join this business.
Well, the first tip is you yourself as a independent consultant looking to get people to join your team, is you have to do enough activity. This is an effort-based business. We're a product-driven company. We only get paid when products are sold. So you've got to get in front of as many people as you possibly can through income-producing activities. So the first tip is, if you're not active, don't expect the results. So you've got to be active to find people to join a business in the first place. So is get active as the first one. And the second tip is, and I kind of alluded to it before, is when you're talking to somebody and I have to say, my first experience of one-to-ones and presenting business when I started the business was just ridiculous. I was the worst person to do one-to-one. I would have the golden raspberry for doing one-to-ones, because I would just literally sit the person down, the potential business partner, as I prefer to call them, the prospect, but men always means the same thing. And I would just vomit Arbonne on them. I do an hour and a half presentation to every fact and figure I possibly knew about Arbonne. I would tell them. At the very end, I'd look at them and say, "So what did you think?" And they were sat there like with a rabbit in a headlight, thinking, "What the hell's just happened the last 1.5 hours of my life?" So I wasn't going to have success with that. So I knew my technique had to change. And I did some research, asked people how they did the one-to-ones, and realised really, your one-to-one is not about you, it's all about the person you're speaking to. So the most important thing to help you get people joining you is to understand them. So the first thing you've got to do in a one-to-one situation is get to know them. At the end of it, you've got to know what's in it for them. What is their why? So if you don't ask questions and literally learn the art of shutting up and let them speak and take note of what they're saying. So you have to ask questions, obviously, where they want to be in 5 years' time. What would they do if the income was stopped overnight? That sort of thing. You've got to ask them the questions. What job to do? Do they see much of the family? Tell us about your hobbies, interests. All the things you do to get to know them. And you're constantly listening to what they're saying to you, what their answers are, because they're starting to paint a picture of the life and what their reasons to do this business could be for them, or reasons to have products, But if you just talk at someone, you'll never get that information. So there's tip number 2 is get to know them and help them identify, what's in it for them. Why would they join this business? Because ultimately they'll start to paint a picture of their own why, without them even realizing, just through conversation. Of course, you then can relate back to them how this opportunity can then deliver that, be the vehicle for them to make that their reality. And the third tip is, and I've said this before as well, is a follow-up. I saw a statistic somewhere, and it said that 79% of leads are never followed up. Even if that is half right, that's a scary stat, that we do all the work, but then we let it all go. And I always love the story that ENVP Sheila Green mentioned on the AAC stage 2 years ago, that her sponsor prospected, put this opportunity in front of her 9 times. On the 10th time, she said yes. So it's the pleasant persistentness of her sponsor to go back each and every time after having been told, no, I'm not doing it, not doing it. Even if you come back to me in 3 months' time, I'm not doing it. But the fact the woman asked for permission to come back in 3 months' time, do you mind if I, come back and, see if the circumstances have changed? Yeah, it's fine, but I won't join. But on the 10th time, her circumstances had changed, and she said yes. So if that lady had not asked Ian if she'll agree each and every time, hardly any of us would be on the call tonight, because we wouldn't be in her success line. So that's incredible. So follow up. The fortune thought you must follow up and be organised in doing so as well.
Fantastic. Again, practical tips, and the follow-up is so important. I mean, I can attest to that, because the person that's joining my business is actually my sister, who has been saying no to me about 10 times for the last year. So it's very exciting to actually have someone, someone that you can keep going back to actually say yes. And that's the power of coming back from Vegas. So this is a quick question, Martin. What's your favourite book and why?
Just got glad your sister's joining. My sister's been saying no to me for 4 years, so there's hope for me yet then.
Absolute hope.
Yeah, keep following up. I've got, my all-time favourite book and the absolute guru Bible we must all read is GoPro by Eric Worre. But I think for me, a book that gave me one of the biggest light bulb moments or rocket up the bum moments really was a book called, it's number 5. So it's called the number 5. So 5, and it's Where Will You Be in 5 Years from Today by Dan Zadra, Z-A-D-R-A, Dan Zadra. It talks about a sense of urgency, and it kind of resonated with me because I lost a friend to terminal cancer, and maybe what am I doing with my life? So that book really scared me, and I see Danny just said there as well, scared her too. It scared a lot of us. So I highly recommend. It's really about £9. It's with a red front cover, but it's 5. Where will you be in 5 years from today? It's a really book, simple read, but the exercises it makes you do in the book is just mind blowing.
Thank you very much for that, Martin. I've written that one down. So Dan Zadra 5.
Yeah.
It's called. So a couple more questions before we are finished. So what do you say to people who think they don't have confidence in this business? Because Simon actually mentioned in his story, that he felt that he didn't have the confidence, and that's why he is quiet. What do you say to those people?
I suppose it kind of depends what their lack of confidence stems from. But I think it's first of all, as a person talking to them, it's about earning their trust, that they feel that they've got someone there to help them get started and to handhold them. So they have got, in business for yourself, not by yourself. Again, we say that a lot. But it's having that, you build friendships and relationships, and they feel they have got someone to handhold them along the way. And of course, some people live their entire life inside the comfort zone, but the magic happens outside the comfort zone. So it's helping them see the bigger picture, paint the vision of what their life could look like if they make that step, and take step by step, small steps, and the results come. I suppose it does, but some people will require maybe professional help to overcome confidence. I mean, I had an absolute phobia. It wasn't a fear, a phobia of public speaking, and even just doing the DA. But I have to say that NVP Carol Isle certainly helped me with that one in fantastic training that I came up to Warwick once and had. But I did require some hypnotherapy sessions to help me get over the fear of public speaking. So sometimes people need to seek help from other sources. But I think the most important thing is to have someone to hold your hand. But again, a great book to help someone come to terms with self-limiting beliefs and deal with it is a great book called Sumo. So it's called Shut Up and Move On by Paul McGee. So it's called Sumo, S-U-M-O. That's a great book by Paul McGee. And also another book called Get Things Done by Robert Kelsey. That particularly helped me. So Get Things Done by Robert Kelsey. Again, it's a red cover on that book. But just getting to know someone, helping them, that they realise they're not on their own. That, I think, is a big help.
Fantastic, Martin. Why do you think guys are so well suited to this business, and why guys should join us today, right after this call?
Do you know? I think it's not just guys. Everyone's suited to this business, not just selling this guys over women. I think it's not to partition anyone. Everyone has got a why. They could need or would need this business. It could be a vehicle to create something for everyone, but it's just uncovering what that is. and everyone's got it in them, but not everyone will do it. So I think everyone is suited to this business if they see the vision of what could be for their life and how Arbonne could be the vehicle to help make that come true. It's just, it's the old phrase, some will, some won't, so what, but you just got to keep trying to paint the picture for everyone that you see, and again, follow up, be pleasantly persistent, and help them, everyone see that they all are suited this business in an ideal world, of course.
Fantastic, Martin. So when's your nation goal? When are you going nation? Going to declare it to us all now?
Yeah, I've declared after area manager retreat, I had a complete light bulb moment, because for me, when I was a consultant and district manager going to the big Discover Arbonnes in London, I would sit there in the audience and look at the VPs up there talking, thinking, oh my God, they're wonderful. I can't be them. They sort of glide in from the side and they float, and they don't just walk, they float, And so I was a complete, oh my God, can I be them? It's a confidence issue with me. But over time and just through the self-development, you realize you can absolutely be, whatever level you want to be. You can go right to the top. So I think I had a shift. I've been in region for 2 years, and I think I got comfortable. And I had a real moment in area manager retreat thinking, you know what, I can go nation. I am going nation. So it's 30th of November this year. I intend to be joining Chris and Carol. I'll be joining the Pina Colada on the beach in Maui.
Amazing, Martin. And everyone's cheering you on, because you know what? Everyone says how amazingly lovely you are in this business. And that's why a lot of people stay, because of the people and the culture and what we offer and how we support each other. And it's people like you that inspire other people to carry on. So again, thank you so much. I've got 2 sneaky questions that I always ask special guests, which I didn't actually send you earlier. So question number 1, they're easy, don't worry. What's your favourite product?
I've actually got lots, but I would say the intensive renewal serum, for so many reasons, it's just incredible.
Fantastic. And 2, what is your guilty pleasure product?
The chocolate protein shake ready made. I can't stop drinking it, because for me, I'm a chocoholic, and drinking it for me gives me the taste of, in my mind, of liquid galaxy chocolate. So I love it.
Amazing. I don't think anyone's ever said protein shake before as the guilty product. But
yeah.
Thanks so much for being on this call tonight, Martin. It's recorded, so this recording will be available for consultants. I hope you've all had some awesome information of this. I just want to give a big shout out to all the men that spoke on the DTC stage. So a massive shout out to the guy who's on the call today, Chris Isles, who's part of Chris and Carol Isles partnership. Thank you so much for your amazing training. It was absolutely brilliant, and the shades really suit you both, trust me. So well done for speaking there. A massive well done to Stuart Armfield, who talked to us about social media. A massive well done to Chris Wildheart from America, who talked about the protein boost. And there was a couple of other guys that spoke in trainings that not all of us will get to go on, but I believe that was Andrew Platts that spoke as well. And I've missed any guys that spoke? No, I think that's all we got.
Yeah.
I think that's it. So well done to everyone. So let's see you all there next year at the White Party, walking that stage as regions. Hope this call has been amazing. I am just going to end the recording right now. And obviously, thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to go through the chats and just check who everyone's voted for future speakers. So if you haven't voted, please just drop that in now, because I'm going to check that now. But thanks so much. And thank you again, Martin. You've been amazing.
You're welcome. Good night, everyone. Have a great rest of your night.
See ya. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Luke, for organising.
You're welcome.
Cheers, Luke. Bye, mate.
Bye.
See ya.
Luke. Bye. Still recording.
Oh, sorry, yeah.